Hey, what's up? We're going to be breaking down UFC Nashville with a pretty interesting main event, a fight that probably never anyone would have thought we would ever got to see, with two different divisions. Pettis even going to 45s before, but we're going to go to the first fight of the night with Eric Shelton against Jordan Espinoza. This is a pretty interesting fight. Jordan Espinoza is making his UFC debut. He's a pretty athletic kid, but I would say he's kind of raw overall. I wouldn't say he's a finished product. And Eric Shelton, he's been looking pretty good, but he had the best performance of his career. He got an easy victory in his last fight. It was a split decision for some reason, but if you watch the fight, he clearly won. He moved to ATT. He looks in great shape now on social media. And Espinoza, he's coming off a win on the Dana White Contender Series. He has 4 consecutive wins. And he's a very athletic, explosive guy. He's light on his feet. He kind of likes to use lateral movement, blitz in with shots. He holds his hands low. He can be clipped entering the pocket, but he does have nice leg kicks. He has nice straight and overhand rights. He will throw 1-2s. He likes to throw straight right hands to the body. He has a good check left hook going backwards. He dropped his last opponent with it. He also throws nice kicks, body, head kicks. His head kicks come very fast. He has a very nice head kick knockout of Nick Urso in the Dana White Contender Series. And he landed a 1-2 head kick combination in his last fight that dropped his opponent, so he definitely likes throwing that head kick. He was able to land a straight right hand that finished his opponent in the last 10 seconds of the fight, so he holds his power all the way through all 3 rounds. When he can't get the fight to the mat and he's being outstruck, he can panic a bit. He could start to shoot takedowns from far outside. He flops to his back. Doesn't really have much boxing at all. He really is trying to be all the way out until he can enter in with like a long punch, a kick, or a takedown. Doesn't throw in combination very often. He only has 2 career KO TKOs. He's never been finished by strikes, but his striking definitely has to be respected. He's a former college wrestler. He has some jiu-jitsu skills as well. Doesn't tend to work in the clinch much, but he does have nasty knees to the body there. He is explosive. He has good double leg takedowns, good drive. He will dig an underhook, land trip takedowns, drop down for doubles against the cage. He likes to shoot singles as well. On top, he has decent ground and pound elbows, but he's mainly looking for submissions. He has very good guard passes. He'll athletically jump from guard to side control. He's very fast at scrambles. He floats well on top. And he can be taken down himself, but overall, I would say he has good takedown defense. He can be pushed, controlled against the cage. Off his back, he does do a good job scrambling, returning to his feet. He is always looking to get that Darce position. That's his go-to submission. Very good at jumping on Darces after he hurts an opponent. He has 5 Darces, 7 submissions overall. He has been submitted twice, but they were early in his career. He doesn't have the best record. He has some questionable losses for sure. He does seem to have fairly good cardio. He proved he carried his power late into the fight in his last match. And I think that he needs to get this fight to the ground. He does have a chance to clip and hurt Shelton standing, but I feel Shelton is a little quicker, a more experienced, a more tactical striker. If he can use a similar game plan to the one Alex Perez did on Shelton, grappling heavy, I could see him executing that. Perez does have a similar Darce front choke game, but I think it's going to be tough to submit a guy like Eric Shelton. But Eric Shelton, he's coming off the best win of his career. Looks like his move to ATT paid off, and he's there once again for this camp. He's a solid striker. He has a good jab, solid straight right hand. He likes to throw the 1-2. He'll double up on the jab, then throw a right hook. He has a good left hook, straight right hand combination as well. He will also throw an overhand right, straight left. And he has a nice uppercut, very good hand speed. He throws in combination. I think that he's definitely going to have much better hands than Espinoza. He likes to pressure, stalk his opponents to the cage. He can get stuck just walking down his opponent, staring at him, and he isn't really a high output striker. Even when he seems like he has a significant striking advantage, he doesn't let go as much as you'd like to see. He has a lot of close fights. He kind of just tries to pressure, pull fighters into his power, but if they don't throw, he doesn't really throw either. He does have good defensive footwork, nice lateral movement. He has a high guard. He'll rarely throw kicks. He's predominantly a boxer. He will throw the occasional head kick, but he doesn't have huge power. He only has 2 TKOs in his career. He does have a good chin. He's never been finished. I do feel like the kicks of Espinoza may be able to shut down the punches of Eric Shelton. And if that happens, then Shelton might have to resort to some grappling here himself. But I feel like if he's able to land straight punches, get Espinoza to respect his power, get Espinoza moving backwards, then I think you'll have a good night if it stays on the feet. But Shelton's a strong grappler as well. He's a good wrestler. He's very explosive with double, single leg shots. His shots come very fast. He also does a good job timing them when fighters are off balance, like throwing a kick. He's good in the clinch. He has strong body locks. On top, he has good elbows, good control. He has very good passing ability. He does do a good job turking the legs. He tries to move directly to mount. He likes to get to the back. He has a very good rear naked choke. Good job of when opponents do scramble back to their feet. He returns them to the mat quickly, and he can be taken down himself. Like I said, he was taken down 5 times versus Alex Perez. And he's hard to hold down, though. He does do a good job getting back up to the feet, especially against the cage. He isn't dangerous off his back with submissions, but he does have some decent sweeps. He has 5 submissions himself. He's never been submitted in his career. And he's always in close fights. He's lost 4 split decisions. He won 1 in his last time out, which was also a split decision. He's 4-5 in decisions in his career, and I think he's the better striker in this fight. I see him being able to land clean, straight punches, have a major boxing advantage. I think he'll be able to match that speed, athleticism at Espinoza, and it could cause him issues. I think he could even potentially take down Espinoza himself, but not sure if he needs to. I think he needs to use his lateral movement, strikes, to land straight punches, leg kicks, as Espinoza closes the distance. And I could definitely see him landing clean, stunning Espinoza. I think Eric Shelton will get it done here. I think Shelton will be able to deny the takedown attempts, win the striking battle. I see him being able to land short shots, straight punches as Espinoza tries to close the distance. And I actually think he's going to drop Espinoza. I don't know if he'll be able to get the finish, but I see Shelton just being able to take a clear decision victory, which is always nerve-wracking when you're playing a Eric Shelton fight if it goes to decision. But Espinoza has lost to fighters who are not very good. I just don't trust him to come in here, take out a UFC veteran like Eric Shelton. So the pick's going to be Eric Shelton get the decision here. And I think he's going to win pretty clearly. And up next here we have Chris Gutierrez taking on Ryan McDonald. And Gutierrez, he's returning after he had a pretty spirited effort in his UFC debut. Some people thought he was arguably winning the fight early on against Raoni Barcelos. And he ultimately got taken down, which turned the tide. He lost via rear naked choke. He did get a big cut on Raoni Barcelos, which potentially could have ended the fight if he would have lasted the round, but obviously didn't. He will be taking on the debuting Ryan McDonald. And McDonald, he's fighting out of disorderly conduct, which is the former camp of Anthony Smith. He's taken this fight on about 2 weeks' notice due to Martin Day pulling out. But he seems fairly well-rounded. He has a long karate stance. Stands flat-footed, though. He will throw solid leg kicks, front kicks to the body. He has a decent jab. He has a solid 1-2. He will look for lead left hooks. He likes to blitz in with a quick straight right hand. He will throw a counter left hook moving backwards, and he will throw overhand right hook combination. He'll switch stances. He likes to sidestep, throw left hooks or straight right hands from different angles, and he kind of has a little bit of funky footwork. He'll throw lead leg hook kicks to the body, to the head. He'll also throw front and oblique kicks to the legs. He has good head kicks. He'll throw straight right to a head kick combination. He has solid spinning back kicks to the body, to the head. He will throw back elbows. He can get creative with his striking. Tends to do a lot of peppering with the shots, especially in close range with his punching. He'll throw quick, straight, fast, straight punch. He'll throw quick, fast, straight punches, uppercuts. But he seems like he's scared to fully commit to throwing in the pocket. He stands very heavy on his lead leg. He's there to be leg kicked. He leans back. He drops his hands at times to defend strikes. He has that tall man defense. I've seen him knock down on the regional scene with overhands. And doesn't seem to have the greatest chin. He also doesn't seem to have much power. He only has 2 career KO TKOs. And he was finished twice as an amateur, but never has been finished as a pro. He's never been finished at all, or never lost as a pro. He's 10-0. He has 20 fights altogether. He's pretty experienced. He had an extensive amateur career. He'll look to grapple. He has nice knees to the body, to the head, and the clinch. He will look for takedowns. He's fairly good with his singles, his doubles. On top, he does have decent ground and pound. He'll advance position. Likes to get the mount, take the back. He'll look for arm bars, rear naked chokes, but he doesn't seem to have great jiu-jitsu. Can be shucked off, end up on his back. He can get people are able to turn in. He does have good rear naked chokes. He has a few on his record, but he doesn't seem to be extremely good at finishing them. And I've seen him threaten with guillotines. I've seen him get mounted. He is long. He will attack with his guard. He'll attack with elbows, triangles, arm bars. He has 3 submissions in his career. He's won his last fight via guillotine. He is riding a 3-fight win streak. He has good momentum, but he hasn't fought very good competition, and this is a big step up for him. I see him trying to use his strikes to set up takedowns. I feel if he can't get this fight to the mat, unless he can just land a nice shot, he'll have a rough night, to be honest with you. If he can't get this fight to the ground, he needs to emphasize the control over submission. But for Chris Gutierrez, he's another fighter coming out of Factory X. He looked good in his UFC debut. He was up against a high-level guy. He was able to push him for a little bit, and he's a good striker. He has very good defensive movements. He likes to fight on the counter. He has nice round oblique kicks to the legs. He'll throw check left hooks, good 1-2s. He's good at throwing the left hook moving backwards. He'll throw nice front kicks to the body. He will blitz forward with straight punches to close the distance. He has nice front leg round kicks to the head. Very good spinning back fists. He'll throw nice spinning back kicks to the body, to the head. He's very fast. He's always feinting. He keeps fighters off balance. Very hard to read on the feet. He can get back to the cage. He allows opponents to control the center at times. He does have 6 pure KO TKOs, good durability, never been finished by strikes. He's an average grappler. He has questionable defensive wrestling. He doesn't wrestle offensively. He's solid in the clinch. He will look for hard knees to the body, but he can be taken down. He does have solid get-ups, but he was out-grappled in his losses against Tamir Valiev, Jared Saunders. He was also just submitted by Raoni Barcelos. He also has a victory over Timur Valiev, so he was able to get a win there. He will use butterfly hooks or even give his back to scramble to his feet. He does have good arm bars, triangles. He's able to throw out very quick arm bars. He uses submissions to scramble back to his feet most of the time. He will also roll for leg locks. He has 1 career submission. It's a rear naked choke. He has been submitted 1 time. He's fought the much better competition. He's already had the UFC experience. I see him trying to keep this fight on the feet. He should look to throw longer combos, catch McDonald as he moves backwards. McDonald drops his hands, he leans back, and I think ending combos with the head kick could pay dividends for him. I also feel he could land a lot of leg kicks on McDonald. I think Gutierrez is much better than any fighter McDonald has ever fought, and he's going to give him a route entrance to the UFC. I think Gutierrez is going to be able to chew up that lead leg of McDonald, be the much faster fighter. And McDonald is open. I think he can catch him clean. I think if McDonald takes him down, Gutierrez could catch an armbar or a triangle. I also like the camp he trains at. I think he's going to have the better boxing. I think if he puts combos together, he could catch McDonald with the second or third punch with the overhand with the head kick. And I like the camp where he trains at. I think he's going to be well prepared. So I'm going to go with Chris Gutierrez, the second round KO in this fight. And up next, this is a battle of 2 fighters who desperately need a win. It's a striker versus grappler matchup. Angela Hill, she's lost 2 or 3 fights. She hasn't been able to get a win streak going yet in her UFC career. Randa Markos, she's coming off a draw. She only has 1 win in her last 4 matches. For Angela Hill, she's a solid striker. I actually felt like she deserved to win her last fight versus Courtney Casey. Felt like that was a pretty bad robbery, to be honest with you, but Angela Hill, she's very quick. She's a nimble striker. She has good movement on the outside. She uses false starts, stutter step movements, throw off blitzes. She mixes in a lot of kicks, teeps to the body, high kicks. She has great leg kicks off her blitzes. Usually, that's how she finishes her combinations after she throws her right hand. She has a very nice jab, good right hook. She'll throw an uppercut right hook combination. She'll also attack the body with punches, with kicks. She's great at mixing it up, targeting all areas. She seemed like she hurt Courtney Casey to the body a couple times in her last fight. She'll also throw a leg kick to a left hook to a leg kick combination. She'll fake the left hook, throw a leg kick as well. Very good with her feints. She has a great overhand right, solid timing. She'll catch you coming in with it. Good at moving her head in the pocket, rolling with shots. She will slip return with nice punching combinations. She has nice head kicks, hard round kicks to the body. Very good early. She's very fast. She keeps a heavy volume with leg kicks, blitz attacks. Her in and out movement is very good. She's always pressing the fight going forward. She isn't the biggest fighter, but she throws a ton of volume, fights at a very fast pace. She can get caught against the cage if you're really like a marauder and can walk through her shots like a girl like Jessica Andrade. But she has a solid chin. She does a good job tying up, reversing position off the cage. She does have some variety in her shot. She'll throw nice Superman punches, step in elbows. She hits hard. She rocked Courtney Casey a few times. She has 3 KO TKOs. She's never been finished by strikes. She's durable. She's one of those few fighters who's exchanged with Jessica Andrade. Live to talk about it. So she's improving in her grappling as well. She's much better than early in her UFC career. She has good technique in the clinch. She has good head positioning. She'll dig an underhook, land nice knees to the body. She'll throw uppercuts, overhand rights in the clinch. She will exit the clinch with hard elbows. She's improved her wrestling, but her takedown defense still isn't very great. She was taken down by Courtney Casey, but she immediately attacked with the armbar. She was able to scramble to top position. That was pretty impressive because Casey is a brown belt. When she was taken down against a black belt in Livia Souza, she was able to keep her in her guard, and she was able to force multiple referee stand-ups. Souza wasn't really able to do anything on top. She's proved she could survive on the ground with good BJJ players now. She was able to earn top position against both Marina Moroz and Ashley Yoder. She stayed safe in their guards. She even attempted a single leg in her fight with Marina Moroz, but I highly doubt she shoots here. She will have to have her grappling, even up another notch in this match. She needs to be able to have not only her takedown defense on point, but her get-ups. She has been submitted 2 times early in her career, but she does not have any submissions. She needs to go forward, put the pressure on Randa, force Randa to fight backwards. She needs to stay long, move in and out, land her quick punches, leg, body kicks, feint, fake, draw out the strikes, the wrestling shots of Markos, get the reads, then start to counter. I feel if she can deny some early takedowns or scramble back to her feet, she could break Markos with her pressure. Markos holds her hands down, and if Hill can get the jab going, I expect her to be able to dictate the distance much better. I do expect her to get put on her back at some point, so definitely has to have those get-ups on point. She definitely needs to keep the volume high, win the striking convincingly in order to outweigh some likely takedowns from Markos. But Randa Markos, she's a solid professional fighter. She's a tenacious fighter. She has very good cardio, keeps a steady work rate throughout the fight. She has her lead hand down though, and she extends it. She's heavy on her lead leg as well. Very boxing type stance. She uses her front hand to gauge distance. She tries to stay loose. She uses a lot of lateral movement, but she doesn't really set anything up off of it. She usually just comes forward in straight lines. She will throw jabs, double jabs. She'll throw straight punches and hooks to close the distance. She'll throw overhand rights, left hooks. She likes to try to catch fighters coming in with those shots. When she's getting pushed back and pressured, she doesn't really do much of anything. She's extremely low output. And if she hangs around on the outside with Hill, definitely won't win this fight. She will have to bite down at times, throw a 1-2, or walk through some shots to get inside. But she doesn't do that often enough when she's getting pressured. But Markos, she doesn't have power. She has 9 decisions in 10 UFC fights. The one non-decision was a loss via submission. She has 0 KO TKOs. She's never been finished by strikes. And Markos, she's a grinder, man. She's good in the clinch. She's good at going for takedowns. She'll work in the clinch against the cage. She has no problem grinding you out there, but she kind of lacks physicality at times. She can be taken down herself, controlled against the cage. She will throw overhand rights into the body lock, which is pretty nice. She'll try to attack with hooks to back her opponent to the cage, then dig an underhook. She likes to use nice snatch singles. She has good body locks, good doubles. She'll even go for hip tosses. On top, she does do a good job getting in dominant positions. She's much better with her ground and pound than she was early in her career. She'll turk the legs, move directly into mount. She was able to take them out in her last match in round 1. She landed some nice ground and pound. She also has nice back takes. She usually uses that double wrist lock to take the back. Off her back, she actually isn't bad either. She does a good job scrambling. She has good dexterity in her legs. She can take the back from odd positions and scrambles. Good job of when she wins a scramble, she'll immediately get into a dominant position, go to work. She doesn't let her opponent rest. She isn't a huge submission threat, but she has 4 career submissions. She has been submitted twice. Markos, she has to get inside, close the distance to get this fight to the ground. If she can get in on her single leg, then push her opponent to the cage. She's good at getting in on her legs quickly, especially when she backs her opponents up as well. If she can take Hill down, she has to have top control. She can't allow her to win clinch exchanges against the cage, which she's been doing recently, or wrestling exchanges. If she can get on top of Hill, she should look to hold her down, look to try to get a rear naked choke, because Hill has been submitted twice by rear naked choke. But this is a very close fight. I think that on the feet, the forward pressure, the movement of Hill will give Markos issues. Markos has fought fighters who are very flat-footed recently. Lima, Ansarov, Rodriguez, more Muay Thai style. I feel that when fighters allow her to go forward, she's effective, but going backward, she's not very effective. If Hill can land some leg kicks early, be in and out, Markos isn't going to be able to catch her, in my opinion. She may be able to pick her apart for 3 rounds. If Markos is able to get in there, get a takedown early, that could be a recurring theme, though. I feel Hill could definitely land leg kicks, extended combinations on her feet. I feel that she'll be able to use her movement to avoid most of the takedowns of Markos, and I think she's going to quadruple, triple up the volume of her on the feet. I say Hill loses a round by being taken down, but I'm going to say she wins the fight 29-28, but it really could go either way, but I'm going to go with Angela Hill via decision in this fight. And up next, we have a fight that I'm pretty surprised with the line with Alexis Davis is a favorite here, but Jennifer Maia, she's going to get another chance to defeat a legend of the sport. She came up short in her UFC debut against Liz Carmouche, but as a former Invicta champion, she's getting another name opponent here in Alexis Davis. Alexis Davis, she's a pioneer of women's MMA. She's coming off a fairly close decision loss to Caitlin Chookagian. And Davis is looking ripped on social media. Even though she's older, she's still very competitive. And Maia, she's a come-forward striker. She has that heavy Muay Thai shoot-a-box style. She's an active jab. She'll throw a 1-2 combination or a jab overhand right combination. She'll also throw a 1-2 to a left hook. She will mix in uppercuts. She's good at slipping punches, countering, usually with her straight or overhand right. She will throw occasional leg and body kicks. She's good at attacking the body with nice jabs, right hooks. She doesn't throw a lot of variation, and really her right hand is her bread and butter for sure. She is at her best when she finds her range, goes forward, lets her right hands go. She can let her straight or overhand right. She can start to land her straight or overhand right over and over. It's very accurate. When she's able to stun fighters, she will swarm with combinations, but overall she doesn't throw a ton of volume. She is flat-footed. She doesn't move her head much. She can get hit clean with shots. Carmouche was continuously able to get in, land some punches, get the fight to the ground. I actually think her striking looked much better against Carmouche than other fights, though. When she can go forward, she gains confidence. She'll throw out more volume. She tends to start slow, pick up fights as they go on. I actually feel that she would have lost her last 3 fights had they been 3-round fights, but 2 of them she took round 4 and 5 and was able to win the decisions there. She doesn't have much power. She only has 3 KO TKOs in her career. She has been knocked out only 1 time. She is a tough girl. I do feel her chin isn't the greatest. She was rocked by a jab versus Aga in a recent Invicta fight. But Maia, she's a solid grappler, although she was grinding out in her most recent fight against Liz Carmouche. She has good clinch control, and she will land hard knees to the legs, to the body from there. She digs nice double underhooks, and she will slow the pace of the fight, controlling the fighters against the cage. She was able to do that in the first round against Liz Carmouche, which is impressive because Carmouche might be the strongest fighter in the division. She isn't a wrestler. She has good takedown defense, good sprawl. She usually uses it to take top position. When she does get taken down, she has good get-ups. She will attack inner guard with arm bars. She was able to shake Roxanne Modafferi off her back a couple times, get on top that way. In top position, she isn't super dangerous with ground and pound. She does have 5 career submissions. She's only been submitted 1 time. She's someone who will go to sleep rather than tap out. And Maia's going to want to try to stay long, use those straight punches. I also feel she should use cage control, push Davis against the cage, land some short knees to the legs, to the body, zap some of that energy of Davis, and then open up more with her striking. She gets stronger as the fight continues, and Davis slows down, so I imagine she has a decent chance to win the 3rd round. But for Alexis Davis, she's a very wily veteran who has quite the resume in MMA. She's beaten girls like Valerie Letourneau, Amanda Nunes, Tanya Evinger twice, Liz Carmouche twice, Jessica Ai, Sarah Kaufman. And, she's a pressure fighter. She wants to use her strikes to get inside, force grappling exchanges usually. Her hands aren't great, but she will try to land the jab, straight right hand. She will throw overhand right lead. She will throw a straight right hand to the body, to a left hook to the head. She tends to do a lot of reaching with her punches instead of cutting opponents off. She can be countered due to that. She has good kicks from the outside to the legs to the body, but she's a bit stiff. She's slow, she's plodding, she doesn't have great striking defense. She doesn't move her head, and she's there to be hit, but she's a dog. She likes getting hit. She'll take shots to go to war. She has a great chin. She has 2 KO TKOs in her career. She doesn't have really great power on the feet. She is very hittable, but she's tough. She has been KO TKO 3 times. And she's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She's a very strong grappler. She will try to get upper body clinches, get it to the fence, work with knees. She has good control in the clinch with double underhooks. She doesn't shoot for takedowns much, but she's very good at catching kicks. She'll take you down that way. She has a good ground game. She does a good job getting them out, landing big shots. She sometimes can get caught in the guard and be inactive on top. And I actually think she's better off of her back. She'll use a high guard, land hard elbows to the head. Then she tries to get arm bars or triangles. Good job getting the triangle position, sweeping to full mount. She does slow down as the fight goes on, but she knows how to push through it. She's good at surviving when she gets hurt, and she's definitely tough to put away. She has 7 submissions. She's only been submitted 1 time. She has a ton of experience. She's a tough out for anyone. She needs to keep the pressure, try to negate the king game of Maia by catching the kicks, and just throw more volume. She has to take advantage of any grappling situations. If she can get it to the ground, whether she's on her back or on top, I feel she should do it, even if she has to pull guard. I think she could potentially lock up a submission, especially from her guard if Maia isn't careful. I think Maia should win here, but it's a close fight. I'm not super confident. I feel that Davis has a chance to out-volume Maia here. If she can walk her down or possibly take her down, Davis isn't physically as strong or doesn't have the striking pedigree, the speed, the power of Maia. I feel that Maia will rack up control time against the cage. I think she's going to land the better, more impactful shots. I think she's going to be able to stay off the mat most of the time. If she can do that, she can win a decision. I feel that Davis is probably more likely to get a finish if it were to happen. But I see this fight going the distance, and I see Jennifer Maia taking the decision here. So I'm going to go with Jennifer Maia via decision. And up next here, we have a fight that was rebooked from a couple weeks ago. And Marlon Vera, he's back. He's been very entertaining lately. And, I think he got sick. Something happened where that's why they pulled the fight. But obviously it wasn't too serious because he's coming right back. He's finished back-to-back fights, both in which he had to dig deep. And Frankie Saenz has won back-to-back fights as well. The winner of this matchup, they're most likely going to top 15 opponent. Saenz, he's 38. It's definitely a huge fight for him with his age. It would definitely be a massive setback. I already kind of broke down this whole fight, so I'm not going to go into it super in depth. But, I feel like Vera, he's someone that's been digging deep lately. He switches stances a lot. He throws a lot of kicks. He has a good straight left hand from southpaw. And he's very accurate. He has pop. He has started slow in his last 2 matches, but he definitely comes back in round 2 reinvigorated. And he seems to have, a new killer be killed type of mindset. He's super aggressive. He'll start to walk down opponents really heavy, welcome a brawl. And he throws a lot of push kicks, a lot of things to try to get opponents moving backwards, and he'll attack with flying knees. And when they're near the cage, he really is good at attacking in the clinch, off the break. He landed a nasty left hook against the cage against Maycee Barber to get the finish. He does rely a lot on his chin, his toughness, but he's very durable. He's never going to be broken. And he's been able to survive, against guys like John Lineker, who are just monsters. 4 KO TKOs in his career. He's never been finished. He's a dangerous grappler. He likes to get that tie clinch, land those hard knees to the head. And he also throw hard hooks to the body, to the head from the single collar. He's definitely good at disengaging the clinch with combinations, especially against the cage. And that's where I think he could hurt Frankie Saenz at. I definitely think that Frankie Saenz could potentially get takedowns, but he was able to get a quick armbar off his back against Brian Kelleher. He has nice elbows, good get-ups. He's improving. He's gaining confidence. He has 7 submissions. His last 4 wins are via finish. He definitely has great cardio. Gets better as the fight goes on. And I think Vera, he needs to push the pace. He needs to walk Saenz down, try to back him towards the cage. He needs to use his front kicks, his straight punches, get Saenz moving backwards, then try to unload on him with combos in the clinch. And if he can rock Saenz, he's definitely a finisher, and I don't think he's going to let Saenz off the hook like these other opponents have. But Frankie Saenz, he's a grinder. He's actually rounded out his striking. He's kind of solid on his striking now. Good footwork, lateral movement, good jab, low kicks. Good job landing the straight, the overhand right. He'll throw overhand right, left hook combo. His right hand's very accurate. Good job pull countering with it. I think that's what he's going to be trying to do a lot here. He likes to throw left hooks to the body and to the head. He will also throw a straight right hand to the body. Good uppercut left hook. He is chinny though. He was finished by Eddie Wineland. He gets wobbled a lot in fights. He does a good job surviving, recovering, but he's definitely a decision fighter over his career. He's never had a finished victory in the UFC. He has 3 TKOs on his record, and he's been finished by strikes twice. And he's a solid grappler. He's a former college wrestler. Strong in the clinch, good control against the cage. He likes to land knees to the legs, to the body, big elbows. He dropped Augusto Mendez with the clinch elbow. He does do a good job landing knees to the body, then disengaging. He'll also get the Muay Thai plum, and he's aggressive with shots there. And he likes to get double underhooks, bully opponents to the ground. And he landed some pretty big elbows once he got Henry Bionis down in his last match. He does have 2 submissions. He's never been submitted. He has pretty good cardio. He can go all 3 rounds. I expect Saenz to try to keep this fight standing, be the more tactical striker. I see him trying to use his movement, walk Vera into shots. I think his low kick could be effective, along with the straight and overhand right. And if he can out-volume Vera, not get clipped with a big shot, it's possible he could take a decision here. And I think Frankie Saenz will have this success in this match. I see him getting off to a good start, landing some nice left hooks, some right overhand rights. And I see him landing some low kicks, landing some straights. But I see Vera eventually catching Saenz with a big shot, changing the tide of the fight. When he hurts Saenz, I see him being more aggressive and capitalizing where Saenz' previous opponents haven't, getting him out of there. Saenz likes to go for the clinch and takedowns when he gets hurt, and I see him doing that. And Vera either locking up a submission or landing some big shots and finishing the fight in the clinch. So I'm going to go with Marlon Vera via second round submission in this fight. And up next here, we have a fight that I'm thinking about placing a bet on here. So stay posted for the Friday video. Make sure to watch that. I'll tell you all the bets that I'm doing. And, Bryce Mitchell against Bobby Moffett. Bryce Mitchell, he's returning after a win on Tough 27 finale. And he's coming off a pretty horrific injury, though. He had his ball sack split open by a power drill. And this is his first fight since then. I don't know if that's going to be affecting him, but we'll see. He's going to be taking on Bobby Moffett, who had a controversial win in his UFC debut. The referee stopped the fight too early when he had a choke locked in against Chaz Skelly. And Mitchell, he likes to fight long. He's quick in and out. He has good fakes, feints. He'll switch stances frequently. He's very fluid from both stances. Very fast straight right hand, nice right hook. He'll throw he will slip punches, throw hard left hooks, solid jabs. He has good hooks in combination and close range. Very fast hand speed, very quick in and out. You could tell he has that karate type background. And he'll throw a lot of lead leg hook kicks to the body, to the head. He'll throw front kicks, step in knees. He'll throw jumping roundhouse kicks. He feints a level change into a left hook very nicely. He will throw a right uppercut, left hook combination. He has a nice right hook to a body kick as well. He'll throw the occasional round kick to the head. He will also throw question mark kicks. He's very quick. He's good at sliding out of the way of shots, returning with counters, like check left hooks, right straights. When he slows down a bit, he can be hit with some nice shots. He definitely got tired in round 3 of his last match, but he said that he went into that fight 146 pounds. He was having some nutritional issues. Now he's started a new strength and conditioning plan. He's addressed all that. He said that he's gained 15 pounds in this camp. He's 160 now. And I mean, to weigh 146 pounds on fight day, only to gain 1 pound after the weight cut, that means that he was pretty much essentially just fighting without a weight cut. So should expect him to be a lot bigger, maybe a lot more powerful, and have some better cardio here, because he said he's really been pushing the strength and conditioning here. But Mitchell hasn't shown big power. He really has most of his finishes via submission. He's never gotten a KO TKO, but he's never been finished with strikes himself. He's a solid grappler. He has a lot of submission wins. He sets his shots up very well with strikes. In the clinch, he has very nice knees to the legs, to the body. He'll also dig strong double underhooks. He has nice control against the cage. Very good double leg takedowns against the cage. He has nice single legs in the open mat. He will back opponents to the cage with combinations, finish with double leg takedowns, solid body lock trips. He's very good on top. He likes to use heavy pressure. He's good at passing. He also is very good at taking the back, very slick back takes. He's kind of funky. He'll get a high guard, lock his legs, and attack the body with shots. He'll slowly bring his legs up till he can attack with a triangle armbar. This is from the mount. He has good rear naked chokes as well. He can be shoved off the back into his guard, but he'll quickly attack with submissions. He has very good high guard. He'll attack with triangles, arm bars. Very good deep half guard sweeps. He attacks with kimuras. He's good at creating scrambles. And he's very hard to hold down. He has solid get-ups. Brad Katona, who's proven to be a pretty good fighter. He was able to figure out the timing of Mitchell's blitz entries. He took him down a couple times. He has 8 career submissions, all either by rear naked choke, triangle, or armbar. He has been submitted 1 time by Brad Katona. He will give his back when he tries to stand up. Katona was able to get a rear naked choke. He seems to slow down a bit. He doesn't have bad cardio, but it's not the best. I feel on the feet he is going to have a significant speed advantage. I think he'll be able to land his straight rights, his left hooks, his nice kicks. Moffett is legit on the mat. I don't think Mitchell should look to grapple too much, but in top position, I feel like there is potential that you could control him a bit, maybe even take the back of Moffett himself. But Bobby Moffett, he's a very good grappler. He trains out of the MMA lab. He's looking to move to 2-0 in the UFC. He's a forward pressure fighter. He's looking to use his shots to get inside, get takedowns. He tries to stay light on the feet. He'll bounce in and out, but he is a bit stiff. He will throw an overhand right and right hook. He'll throw a lead left hook. He'll mix in uppercuts. He doesn't throw very many kicks, but he does have nice leg kicks. He'll throw the occasional head kick. He really doesn't even 100% commit to all of his punches. They're only really there to distract opponents, eventually get them to the ground. He'll lean back and raise his chin up a bit when he defends. Can be hit with clean, straight punches, with overhands. He can be hit with leg kicks as well. And when he's forced to strike, definitely is uncomfortable. I feel he'll have major issues with the speed of Mitchell on the feet. He's tough. He's willing to take shots to implement his game. But he isn't much of a standing knockout threat. He only has 1 career TKO. He has been finished once by TKO. And that was against Thon Lee, who's kind of a similar type striker to Mitchell, but he's probably a little bit better. Moffett is a very good wrestler. He's a submission artist. He's strong in the clinch. He has good body lock takedowns. He also likes to shoot singles, doubles when fighters are near the cage. Once he's on top, he works quickly. Very good guard passing. Solid job of jumping right into side control. He has heavy elbows, good hammer fists, good control in that position. He's able to float into the wrestling ride position when opponents try to stand up. He has a great mount. He feels like a boulder on top opponents, it seems like. He has a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's very dangerous with chokes. Nice arm triangles, rear naked chokes, but definitely his favorite choke is the Darce. He can catch opponents in it both when they attempt to shoot in on him or when he's in top position. And that makes him dangerous to shoot takedowns against, along with him being a strong wrestler defensively. He has great cardio. He's always working in top position. Great positional awareness. He just mauls guys. He was Chas Scully was able to take his back in like the first minute of the fight last fight. But he does have 9 submissions. He's never been submitted himself. And Moffett cannot mess around on the feet here, in my opinion. He needs to try to time an entry, catch a kick of Mitchell, get him to the ground. He has to be wary of Mitchell's sweeps, his guard, but if he can get to where he's strong himself, he could very well get a submission. I do feel that he needs to get it to the ground to have any chance at winning, but I'm going to pick Bryce Mitchell via TKO or by dropping Moffett, getting a submission. Moffett has gotten his back taken by Skelly, and Mitchell is great on the back. If he can rock him, take the back, he could get the submission. I feel that Mitchell's too fast. He has good wrestling. He has good sweeps. He has get-ups. I feel he's the more dynamic athlete, the better striker. He's long. He doesn't end up on his back as long as he doesn't get caught with the sub. He'll be able to take it here. I think Mitchell's going to win via late second round TKO in this fight. And up next here, we have a fight with Maycee Barber and JJ Aldrich, which I've actually looked into a lot for this fight. And it's a great fight. It's 2 fighters who are very confident. They've had a lot of success lately. Both fighters are out of Colorado. They train at good gyms, and they've actually trained together. And I don't know this for a fact, but from what it seems like the way Maycee Barber talks about the training, that maybe JJ Aldrich got the best of her at that time, because she always says, "Oh, well, it was a long time ago," things like that. She says that she respects JJ a lot, that JJ is very good at her base. So just some of the things she said, it forced me to believe that maybe JJ got the best of her in training. But this fight is two fighters who are moving up from 115. I feel Barber will have a decent size advantage, and I'm not sure why Aldrich is moving to 125. But Barber, she stated that she had to eat less than 500 calories a day during training camp in order to make 115 pounds. She's much more healthy at 125. She's very confident. She's always talks about how she wants to be the youngest champion in UFC history. And at only 20 years old, she's very talented. She's on her way if she gets a win here. She's 6-0 with 5 finishes. She's coming off a pretty brutal finish in her UFC debut. She's Barber's arguably her toughest fight to date was against Aubrey Perkins, and she trains with JJ Aldrich at 303, so that's an interesting thing here. But Barber, she's a very strong grappler. She's an improving striker. She's very young. She's getting much better every time out. She's very aggressive. She's a developing striker, but she has nice kicks. She could switch stances. She'll throw a nice check left hook, decent overhand straight rights. She'll switch stances. She has a nice straight left hook down the middle. And she'll throw rear uppercut, left hook combinations. She has a strong right hook. She'll go high with kicks as well. She's always coming forward, putting pressure on fighters. Her kicks are probably the best part of her striking game. Throws a lot of inside leg kicks, front side kicks to the face, to the body. She throws question mark kicks, nice round kicks to the head. She will throw them with both legs. She follows her round kicks with a straight right hand very nicely. Good job feinting, faking before closing the distance. She throws nice check left hooks, decent overhand straight right combinations. And she does that, to set up takedowns as well. And, she's pretty good. She doesn't really move her head, though. And she doesn't have great hands. Fighters can see her punches coming. They're a little bit telegraphed. They're easy to counter. She doesn't... she instead of using footwork, she'll lean back with her chin high, and she definitely needs to improve her footwork. She was improving with her hands, though, in her last match for sure. You could tell they looked much crisper. She does have 3 KO TKOs in her career, but they're all via ground and pound, and she's a tenacious grappler. She's nasty in the clinch. She throws brutal clinch knees, big to the body, to the head. She has excellent elbows. She really busted Hannah Cifers up with big elbows in the clinch. She does a great job trapping a wrist, landing hard elbows over the top. She'll control fighters against the cage, beat them up with shots. And then she really tries to look to get it to the mat. She's very physically strong. She's able to muscle fighters around. She's very good clinch takedowns. She's relentless in her attempts. When she gets the fight to the ground, she'll look to posture up, land nasty elbows. She has devastating ground and pound. She really bloodied the face of Hannah Cifers. When she gets the fight to the ground, she's looking to do damage. She's looking to finish the fight. She's very good in scrambles. She's hard to stand up from under. And I have seen her taken down as well in fights, but she's very aggressive off her back. She'll attack with submissions, with sweeps. She's extremely confident. She feels like she's the next big thing, but this is a big step up. She has only been fighting since 2017. Aldrich is clearly a step above her previous opponents. She definitely needs to be all the way on the outside or all the way on the inside in this fight. She should use a lot of body kicks, head kicks, try to shut down the left hand of Aldrich. She should also attack the lead leg of Aldrich when she shoots, really sits down to throw combos, because Aldrich is very heavy on that lead leg. She doesn't want to fight in punching range with Aldrich. Most importantly, she wants to ultimately get this fight to the ground. She will be the physically stronger fighter, and if she can work her way into the clinch, I see her getting takedowns. I feel like if she can get it to the ground, her ground and pound could potentially be too much for JJ Aldrich. Aldrich, she's a solid striker. She's really improved since joining the UFC. She has 3 consecutive UFC fights or UFC wins, and this is a huge opportunity for her. A win here would catapult Aldrich to the forefront, make her the premier prospect to watch. She's young herself. She's only 26, and she's a close friend, training partner of Rose Namajunas. She's definitely going to be well prepared here. And Aldrich, she's a skilled striker. She's steadily improved. She's a southpaw. She's a pretty tactical striker. She's good at controlling distance, staying long. She will paw out her lead hand to find a range, then drop that straight left hand right down the pipe. She has a nasty right hook, straight left hand combination. She'll use the check right hook to counter when opponents overextend. She has a solid jab. She's very composed, and I really like the way that she controls distance. She'll go forward, but she's constantly aware of the range. She's feinting when she enters. She's sliding in and out. She's great at sliding away, countering with her straight left or even a right hook, straight left combination. She can overextend herself at times on punches when she's forced to go first. And she doesn't move her head much. It's there to be hit if you can eat her shots and counter. She does have nice kicks, body kicks, inside leg kicks. She'll throw front kicks up the middle to the body, to the head. She holstered the kicks against Viana, and I imagine she'll do that again here against another grappler. She will throw a good spinning back fist, and when she gets confident, she's pretty good landing combinations. She does stand heavy on her lead leg. She struggled a bit with the kicks of Viana. She wasn't able to find her range as well because she was forced to defend the kicks from the outside. I do feel as if she has won 9 consecutive rounds in the UFC. She should be very confident. That's a hard thing to do. And Aldrich, she only has 1 career TKO. I'm really not sure that she has the power to hurt Barber. Viana was able to walk through some of her punches, especially early, put that pressure on her. And if Barber is able to walk through her shots, I think she's going to be much more aggressive, maybe able to bully Aldrich a little bit. Aldrich has improved her grappling, but it's still where she can be exploited. She's strong in the clinch. She showed that against Danielle Taylor. She had good upper body lock entries. She was able to get some trip takedowns. She's good at digging double underhooks, controlling opponents against the fence. She doesn't really have much offense from there, but she has good control. She isn't bad when fighters get inside on her. She's good at digging double unders, pushing their opponents to the cage, taking them down. I don't really recommend her clinch fighting at all versus Barber because I feel Barber is very strong in that position. She's improved her takedown defense, but she can be taken down. When she fought Polyana Viana, she was taken down. She had her back taken, but she was able to quickly sweep the top position, move to half guard, land some nice ground and pound. She isn't very good on top overall. When she takes top position, she's usually just trying to stall out. When she does get taken down, she has decent guard recovery, and she'll work the butterfly guard. She'll try to create scrambles to stand up. Fighters in the past have been able to just use strength, pressure to negate that butterfly guard and do damage on the ground, and I'm sure Barber probably could do the same. She has been submitted 2 times. She probably will be the most knowledgeable person off her back that Barber has fought yet, but I'm not convinced she could stand up or stop the barrage of offense Maycee throws if she does get taken down. She has no career submissions, and Aldrich needs to be aggressive. She has to get respect early, meet Barber in the middle, land a big straight left hand or land a big combination, make Barber hesitant and close that distance. She has to be able to control distance here with her jab, with her straight left hand. And if she can land some shots, get Barber desperate for a takedown, deny it. Barber could gas out. Aldrich has great cardio and usually has strong third rounds. Barber's only been a pro since 2017. She hasn't been pushed or had to battle through adversity yet. Aldrich needs to be aggressive early, then try to use her veteran savvy to win a decision. I don't expect her to finish, and she has to avoid the clinch or the ground to win, but this is a fight the UFC wants Barber to win. They're giving her a smaller fighter who has a lot of trouble with grapplers in the past, and I'm a fan of JJ Aldrich. And she can't be underestimated here, but I think she may be a little outgunned. She may land some nice straight punches, some combinations, especially early. But unless she really hurts Barber, Barber's tenacious. I don't see her stopping her from coming forward. I expect Barber to be able to control the clinch, land some big shots on Aldrich as well as get the fight to the ground potentially. I don't think that she'll be able to unload and overwhelm Aldrich like she did Cypher's, but I think she'll win an easy decision in this match, if not get a late finish. But I'm going to say that JJ hangs in there for all 3 rounds, gets a decision. And I could see JJ even giving her a little bit of trouble in a round or 2, but I think that Barber may get a sweep on all 3 judges' scorecards, but definitely going with Maycee Barber there to get the win via decision. And up next here, we have a fight that I'm really surprised about the line that came out here. And actually have a bet here on Steven Peterson in this fight. But Luis Pena, he's making the move down to 145 pounds. He had a loss at lightweight his last time out. And he's going to be a massive featherweight. He's 6'3", he has a 78-inch reach. He's taken on a very tough scrapper in Steven Ocho Peterson, who's coming off his first UFC win via decision. And Pena, is a fairly big name. It's an opportunity for Ocho to make a name for himself. Luis Pena, he's well-rounded. He's training at AKA. And he's a pretty intimidating presence. He has a wide stance. He likes to close the distance, stalk opponents to the cage. He's more of a fighter who likes to touch his opponents with shots, pepper them instead of putting big power in his punches. He throws nice jabs, good straight right hands. He'll throw hooks to the body, nice front kicks to the body, to the head. He has good lead uppercuts. Also, he has nice step-in knees. He'll grab the plum, throw a knee to the head. He is very raw on the feet. He mainly just spams 1-2s, and he becomes very predictable. He can stand flat-footed. Fighters are able to land longer punching combinations. They can land big leg kicks. Mike Trizano was able to beat up that lead leg of Pena. He doesn't throw with very much power. He only has 1 TKO finish in his 6-fight career. He is a decent grappler, and he should be improving with that, training at AKA. He likes to get fighters against the cage with the striking, get fighters thinking about his striking, level change, get double legs, solid single legs. He will drive opponents to the cage with the single. He will control opponents against the cage with double underhooks. Good job using his length in the clinch to take the back. He has good back takes from standing. Good double legs when he gets his hands clamped. And on top, he's only really alright though. He doesn't really have great top control, even really have great ground and pound. Even when he takes the back, tends to allow more experienced fighters to turn in or scramble back to their feet. His length allows him to be very tricky on the ground. He has fast hips. He has decent sweeps. He was able to sweep Richie Smullen in his last win. Then he got a guillotine choke after rocking him. He has a nice triangle. He'll attack with Kimuras. He has 4 submission finishes. He's finished all of his pro wins. I think Pena needs to try to use uppercuts, front kicks, to keep Peterson on the outside. He needs to try to use Peterson's aggressiveness against him, walk him into shots, clinch him up, take him down. When he gets inside, he definitely needs to force this fight into the clinch, where maybe he could use his length to outposition Steven Peterson. He has good cardio as well. But Steven Peterson, he's a grinder. He's more experienced than Pena. He's a come-forward striker. He'll throw leg kicks. He has nice jabs. He likes to throw 1-2s. He'll throw overhand rights to close the distance. He'll throw a right hook to a straight left combination. When he gets his, inside, he'll attack with hooks, with uppercuts. He'll throw multiple overhand rights in a row when opponents are near the cage to try to keep him there. He'll throw front and round kicks to the body, throw Superman punches, jumping front kicks. He has more pop in his shots than Pena, definitely throws with more intent. He doesn't move his head, he just walks forward in straight lines. Fantastic chin, he walks through shots with no problem. No problem taking damage to give his own. He welcomes a brawl. He will stand in the pocket, wing shots. He has 4 KO TKOs. He has only been finished once by strikes. And he's a solid grappler. He's good at controlling opponents against the cage. He stays active there. He'll throw nice knees, big elbows, solid body lock takedowns, decent single legs. He jumped on a guillotine in his last match, which I don't think is very smart, but he may be able to get it against a less experienced guy like Pena. When he takes top position, he's very heavy. He'll methodically pass to better positions. In half guard, he'll throw short elbows. He'll attack with arm triangles. He'll get the crucifix position, and if he moves to side control, he'll throw hard elbows to the head, knees to the body from side control. He has good back takes, good control on the back. He'll soften opponents up with nice elbows. Then he'll try to lock in rear naked chokes. He has 8 career submissions. He's never been submitted himself. He has great cardio. He has an unbreakable will. And Peterson's going to try to march Pena down, make this an ugly, grinding fight. He'll want to push Pena against the cage, control him, look for takedowns. I think if he can get top position, he's going to be able to control on top better than Pena will be able to control him. Peterson also does a good job just drawing opponents into his type of fight. In 3 of his 5 decision losses, they're split decisions. They could have gone his way. And I'm going to go with Ocho Peterson to get the win here. And the line is off, in my opinion. Pena is still only 6 fights into his pro career. You could tell he's thinking in there. He's going through the steps. He doesn't hit hard. And I feel Ocho is going to be able to walk him down, out-grapple him. I think he could take Pena down, control him against the cage. I also think he could just out-tough Pena, win the fight down the stretch with more volume, more pressure, just willpower. And he's the guy that needs this win more. He's going to be able to use his veteran savvy, his warrior spirit, and teach Pena a veteran lesson here. So I'm going with Steven Ocho Peterson. And I'm pretty confident, even though the line indicates that Luis Pena should be a big favorite here. And up next here, we have an excellent fight here with Gutierrez Formiga against Deiveson Figueiredo. This is what I would like to say is the number one contenders match at flyweight, but I'm not sure about that division, so not sure really what this is. But they're two very elite competitors at 125. Gutierrez Formiga, he's the experienced veteran. He's fought the who's who of the division. He's peaking right now. He's won 3 consecutive fights, coming off that dominant victory over Sergio Pettis. And he's going to be taking on the undefeated knockout artist, Deiveson Figueiredo. And Figueiredo, he's one of the biggest flyweights I've ever seen. He loves to bully opponents. And he's coming off a pretty brutal finish of John Moraga. He's 15-0. He's 4-0 in the UFC. He's a technical striker. He's really improved that part of his game. He's light on the feet. He has good footwork. This is for Formiga. He's light on the feet. He has good footwork. He'll throw a jab straight right hand. He'll also throw a jab left hook. He has nice lead left hooks. He'll throw an uppercut to a left hand combination. And, he will throw nice overhand rights. He's good at landing it a few times, getting opponents to respect it, then level changing into the double leg. He has fantastic leg kicks. He's really improved his leg kicks, which I could see being very effective here. He's more of a counter striker. He likes to wait for fighters to close the distance, land check right hooks. He'll land wide hooks when he's in the pocket. He will use overhand rights to grab a hold of the clinch, then tries to dig double underhooks, land knees. He has nice spinning back fist. You saw him drop Ben Wynn with a big spinning back fist. Throws big spinning heel kicks to the body as well. He's definitely fought the best of the best. He has had success. And he's been TKO'd twice, but his striking has vastly improved since then. He's an elite grappler. He's very good at disguising his takedowns with striking. He has strong singles, good doubles. He gets a lot of takedowns in the clinch as well with body locks, with trips. Good at catching kicks. A lot of variety in his takedowns. When he takes fighters down, he's great on top. He has fantastic guard. He'll move from half guard right into mount. He has great control in the mount. He lands nice ground and pound there. He's one of the best back takers in the sport. He could slide his hooks in with the quickness. Once he takes the back, he'll use the body triangle. He has tremendous back control. And if he gets on your back, he's most likely submitting you or controlling you for the remainder of the round. This is most likely his last chance to get a title shot. So I guarantee he's fighting like a wild man for this fight, or training like a wild man. He has 10 submissions himself. He's never been submitted. And Formiga is going to want to use his lateral movement, good footwork, walk Figueiredo in his shots. He has nice leg kicks, which I feel will be effective, along with just having the better, tighter punches. He has to be careful not to get clipped with a big counter, but he can also land a big shot on Deiveson. I think if he's obviously winning the striking and Figueiredo becomes more wild, more predictable, then the takedowns will be much easier to get. And if he can get on top, he's most likely going to win the round. For Deiveson Figueiredo, he's a huge flyweight. Uses that to intimidate his opponents. He likes to walk his opponents down, look for counters. He can return with big uppercuts, big straight punches. He's extremely powerful with his straight right hand and his uppercut. He landed some brutal body punches against Moraga. He took him out. He has very nice body kicks, but he doesn't throw many kicks. When he feels you starting to wilt, he will attack heavy for the kill. He rocked John Moraga with a brutal elbow off the break. When they were standing up, he does lunge on his shots. He overextends. And I feel like Moraga was a little bit emotional in that fight because he was overextending a lot. He was giving Figueiredo easy body lock entries. And he wasn't fighting composed in there. And that's something that Figueiredo does. He gets in guys' heads pre-fight, but he hasn't really been doing that much with Formiga that I've seen. So don't know if they're going to get in some beef during the week. But, that's usually something that Figueiredo tries to do as well. Tries to get fighters to fight off their game. But he has 8 KO TKOs. He is, a bit inactive. He just looks for one big shot sometimes or a takedown entry. He doesn't really cut the cage off well. He could get very flat-footed. He could stand square in front of opponents. And he's a bit slow. He's open to being hit, but he's never been finished. And a lot of people see Figueiredo as more of a striker, but he's a better grappler in my opinion. His striking is largely just to back opponents up so he could try to wrestle. He gets inside very well, gets the double underhooks in the clinch, looks for trip takedowns. He was able to continuously get the body lock, dump John Moraga. He also has strong double legs. He's very powerful. And when he takes fighters down, he has nice control, good ground and pound. He'll look for submissions. He can be taken down himself. We saw that in the Jared Brooks fight. But he attacks with guillotines, Kimuras. He's active off his back. But in that fight against Jared Brooks, he was largely controlled. He got his back taken in a scramble. Couldn't get up off bottom very much. He can't be put on his back against Jussier because Jussier, will be able to control him, in my opinion. He seems to have good BJJ, a good guard, but I don't think he could stand up. Even if Formiga can't pass his guard, he'll be able to control him. He can be a little bit predictable when opponents force him to go first. Striking, he doesn't throw a lot of variation. He can lunge into shots, he overextends, and it makes him easy to take down. He does have 5 career submissions. In this fight, I actually do feel he'll try to mix it up. It's a dangerous game, but I don't think Deiveson has the advanced striking game to try to strike 3 rounds with a guy like Jussier Formiga. I do feel mainly his game plan is going to be to make the cage feel small, walk Formiga down, fake and feint, force bad takedown attempts, wild punches. He can make fighters feel uncomfortable with how confident he is walking them down. Moraga seemed to panic a bit. I do think he will try to get in on body locks, take Formiga down. Formiga has been taken down by fighters, such as Ray Borg. And if he can land a clean shot on Formiga as well, he's a chance to put him out. He's one of the hardest hitters in the division. And Formiga has been finished by strikes before. But I think this is a good matchup for Formiga as long as he doesn't get caught. He's much more sophisticated with the striking. There's a lot more variety. He's just cleaner, faster, more unpredictable. I think he can chop the legs of Deiveson, but he has to set those leg kicks up first with punches. I think that if he can land his straights, his overhands a few times, he then will be able to duck under for takedowns easier. I think he's obviously the stronger grappler, and that's where they both are their best. Figueiredo, he has that chance to catch him, or his physicality may be too much. He may be able to just take him down and control him against the cage. We saw Ben Wynn had some success controlling Formiga against the cage. But I feel more likely the winner will be Formiga. And I say Formiga wins via decision. I think that as long as he doesn't get finished, he has a very good shot to win this fight. So I'm going with Jussier Formiga via decision here. And up next here we have a guy in John Makdessi, who's looked like he's resurrected his career since moving to TriStar. He's won back-to-back fights. He's looking as sharp as ever. And he's going to be taking on Jesus Pinedo, who's a young 22-year-old prospect out of Peru. He won his UFC debut in Argentina late last year. Pinedo, he's stepping in for Nasrat Haqparast. This is a big step up in competition for Pinedo. Pinedo's only 22 years old, but he's very experienced. He's 16-4-1. He's been a pro since he was 18 years old. He's extremely aggressive. He's very tall. He's a long striker. He's good in and out. He'll pull out his jab to gauge distance. He has a good left hook, straight right hand. He doesn't have the greatest hands. He really likes to fight at kicking range. Nasty kicks. He throws snappy front kicks to the body, hard round kicks to the body, to the head. Very fast with his kicks. They're powerful. In the pocket, he gets wild. He will just start to brawl, throw straight punches, hooks, leave himself open to being hit, to being knocked out. And it also leaves himself open to being just out-techniqued by a guy like John Makdessi, but it also makes him very dangerous. He has strong knees, elbows in close range. He's always looking to finish the fight in all ranges. He had a bit of a weird fight in his UFC debut to me. Didn't look himself. He has 7 KO TKO finishes, but like I said, his style leaves himself vulnerable to being finished himself. He has been KO'd twice. He's young. He's only 22. He still has a good chin, and he's very calm. He's experienced in wars now. When his fighters hurt, he definitely is a finisher. And obviously, Makdessi doesn't have the greatest chin. Pinedo is a solid grappler as well. He's strong in the clinch. He has nasty knees to the body, to the head, good elbows. He likes to finish opponents to the clinch with this long frame. Makes him very dangerous there. He will occasionally shoot for doubles, single legs against the cage. He has nice throws in the clinch. He usually prefers to strike, but I expect him to go for a takedown heavy game plan in this fight. His ground and pound is just relentless. It's nasty. His takedown defense is strong. He has a good sprawl. He'll throw big elbows or get to top position and when he sprawls. And on top, he has devastating ground and pound. Like I said, he's relentless. He rains down big punches, big elbows. He has nice submissions, good arm bars from mount. He'll transition into a triangle, finish the fight. He has good guillotines. He could finish the guillotine from standing. Seems to kind of lack some faith in his jiu-jitsu, though. In his last match against Devin Powell, he wouldn't commit to getting into his guard. Instead, he threw a lot of leg kicks, punches to the punches to the feet, to the body, to the head from standing. He is long. He was able to actually land some nice shots to the head, even from standing position, while Powell was laying on his back. And he is training in a solid gym, which has produced a few UFC fighters in Pitbull Martial Arts. And with steady improvements, Pinedo could be a better fighter. But right now, man, I just feel like Makdessi's looking really good, man. I mean, his last fight, he was able to really counter, piece up Ross Pearson, stayed very composed. And I just think that he's not going to get suckered into this wild brawl with this Pinedo guy. I think that he's going to be able to move around, use that footwork, use that technique, those straight punches, those blitz karate attacks, those leg kicks, body attack. And I think that he's going to be able to really outstrike this kid. And it's just going to come down to whether Pinedo is able to land a big shot and get an opportunistic finish, or if he's able to out-grapple John Makdessi here. But, coming off of his first fight with Devin Powell, it just seems to me that Pinedo's still very raw. He's learning. He's still a very young kid. And, I think John Makdessi is going to be able to come in here and just outstrike him, outclass him on the feet. And I think he's even going to be able to get a finish here. So I'm going to go with John Makdessi via second round TKO, just piecing him up, outpointing him, and just landing big counter shots. And eventually think he's going to land a big shot that finishes the fight. So I'm going with John Makdessi via second round KO TKO. Then up next year, we have another really fun fight with Justin Willis versus Curtis Blaydes. When I saw the line on this fight as well, I couldn't believe it, man. I can't believe that Curtis Blaydes opened minus 300. I mean, that was really insane to me. I mean, from what I've seen by Justin Willis, I've been very impressed by this guy, man. I love his boxing. Very snappy jab, very good technique, very good lateral footwork, just very good defensive movement. He's very good at controlling the center of the cage with his punches, keeping fighters on the outside. He has that 82-inch reach, very snappy, quick punches. He'll attack the body. I just really, really like his striking, man. His striking is very good for that heavyweight division. I think his movement, that lateral movement, that quickness with his hand speed is going to give a ton of guys problems, man. And I know that, he's good at throwing those right hooks, counter left hooks. And Curtis Blaydes, man, that guy just got knocked out 4 months ago by Francis Ngannou. Takes a lot of shots. I mean, you see him get hurt in a lot of fights. Mark Hunt, he's been finished by Ngannou twice. And, eventually that damage is going to come back to you, man. And we've never seen Justin Willis defend a takedown inside the UFC, which makes it interesting because it's a complete unknown. And that's what's going to happen because Willis is a much better striker. I'm telling you, he's a much better striker than Curtis Blaydes. He's going to be able to pick Curtis Blaydes off with jabs, with straight punches, with counter hooks. Curtis Blaydes is just a little stiff. He's a little sloppy. He may be the more explosive athlete, but he's not faster with his footwork, with his hand speed. Willis is just much better striking, in my opinion. And, it's going to come down to if that training at AKA, that training with DC, that training with Cain Velasquez, that defensive wrestling is on point because he's never had a takedown shot on him in the UFC. We've never seen him try to defend a takedown. So if he can defend the takedowns, he comes out here, I think he's going to piece Curtis Blaydes up and it could potentially even get a finish here. I mean, we just saw this guy dominate, absolutely butcher Mark Hunt on the feet for 3 rounds. I mean, he made Mark Hunt look bad out there. And we saw what Mark Hunt did to Curtis Blaydes on the feet. He almost decapitated him. So really don't understand the line here at all. Curtis Blaydes, he's someone that's a great athlete, very explosive. He's definitely getting better with the striking. He can't be disrespected. He has nice 1-2s. He's getting tighter, cleaner with his punching. But, I think he has the more power, but he just doesn't have the same technique, doesn't have the same pop, doesn't have the same fluidity, as Justin Willis on the feet. And, I feel that he definitely needs to get this fight to the ground to win. I feel like if he can get it to the ground, we've never seen what Willis does off his back. I mean, maybe he'll be able to take Willis down here very quickly, easily, get the mount, get a ground and pound finish, bust his face open like he did over him. Or maybe Willis is going to come in here and stuff these takedowns at Curtis Blaydes, make him look bad on the feet, and TKO him, man. I mean, Curtis Blaydes, like I said, he just got coming off a TKO loss to Francis Ngannou in November. So that's not very much time. He got rocked against Overeem, rocked against Mark Hunt, finished by Francis Ngannou already. So that's a lot of damage already in a young career for a guy. And, this is a tough fight for me to call just because it's a lot of unknowns, like I said, with Justin Willis never defending a takedown. We've never seen him on his back. But, Curtis Blaydes usually does well with these guys that are undersized that he can manhandle. And I think Justin Willis is going to go in there and get it done, man. I don't know if it's going to be via decision with the striking or he's going to be able to take Curtis Blaydes out, because I do feel like Curtis Blaydes is a guy that's going to take risks in there to get takedowns. He's not just going to allow himself to get peppered from the outside, lose that way. So I'm actually going to go with him, man. I'm going to go with Justin Willis via second round KO TKO in this fight. And, he's one of these guys that I'm looking at betting as well. I feel like that line is... I don't understand that line whatsoever. It's hard betting on heavyweight fights, but that's one that I'm looking at as well there. And the pick is going to be Justin Willis via second round KO TKO. And up next here we have the main event. Two karate guys going at it. Two guys that have pretty fun styles. Even though I feel like Wonder Boy maybe is a little boring at times, but he has his own style. But man, I don't really get this matchmaking with Anthony Pettis wanting to come up to 170 pounds, try to fight a guy like Stephen Thompson. I feel like it's more like, very good opportunity in terms of if he can go in there, land a big shot, show off his striking a little bit, have a fun match, then that's what he wants to do. I don't know if he's really going in there with the huge mindset that he has to win. This is a must-win fight, because why would you take a fight at 170 if, what does that do for his career? What trajectory? I don't feel like he's going to stay at 170 if let's say he knocks out cold Stephen Thompson, like a Masvidal type knockout. I don't see him staying there and challenging the Kamaru Usman's. He's too small, man. So to me, it kind of shows his hands even before the fight that he's going in there for a paycheck. He's going in there for fun fights, for fan-friendly fights, but maybe not necessarily fights that he thinks he can 100% win. But I do feel like he's probably fairly confident. I feel like he's maybe more dynamic than Stephen Thompson. He throws different types of shots, but Thompson is the bigger guy. He's the longer guy. He's a master with distance control with that front leg. And, he's been able to take the shots of guys that are much bigger, that hit much harder than Anthony Pettis. Guys like George Masvidal that we just saw decapitate Darren Till, guys like Tyron Woodley twice, guys like Robert Whittaker. So if those guys aren't able to finish him with their power, unless Anthony Pettis comes out here and lands a big time kick, big counter kick, I don't see him knocking him out with a punch. I don't see that happening unless he lands something big, a big knee. I think Stephen Thompson, he's fought these fights thousands of times, man, these kickbox karate fights. He's fought guys that are more dangerous, higher caliber, bigger than Anthony Pettis, guys like Raymond Daniels, and I just feel like this is a fight that Stephen Thompson, he loves this type of fight. This is right up his alley. This is a guy that he probably feels he's going to go in there, get to strike with him, put on a fun type of clinic, maybe even get a finish, and just style on a guy, get an easy paycheck, easy victory. And you can't be thinking like that, though, because, obviously it's Showtime Pettis. He's a former UFC champion. You can't be going in there thinking this is going to be a piece of cake, because that's where you get caught. But all signs point towards this being, a piece of cake for Wonder Boy here. He is 36 years old. He has taken quite a bit of time off, so maybe he's going to come in here and look very old or something. But, this is a very good matchup for Wonder Boy Thompson. It's a fight that I'm sure he's very confident in. He's fighting a smaller guy. He's fighting a guy that likes to fight like him, who doesn't have nearly the experience, the pedigree that he has in this. And, we just saw him lose to Darren Till in a striking fight, but I don't think Anthony Pettis, has that same type of firepower, man. I don't think he's going to back Stephen Thompson up like that. And definitely think that Stephen Thompson just is a little too much for Anthony Pettis here. If this fight does go to the ground somehow, which I don't envision it at all, then Pettis does have a chance at a submission. But I'm going to say Stephen Thompson wins a decision in this fight. And for the parlay of the week, guys, for this week, I'm going to give you guys Marlon Vera and Maycee Barber. And for my most confident pick, it's going to be Steven Wonderboy Thompson. But thanks for watching, guys. Going to have my Twitter, my Bet MMA tips in the description, along with my PayPal if you want to, support the show, donate a little bit. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on Friday for the post weigh-in breakdown type thing, where like I did last week, and I'm actually gonna give you guys all my bets that day. I mean, I'll very unlikely place a bet on Saturday. Just go look at the Bet MMA tips, and maybe if I would, then you'll see it on there. But most likely, we'll be giving you all my final plays on Friday. And hopefully you guys listen to that one. Hopefully you'll listen to this one. Make sure to, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. And thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys cash your bets.